So we'll talk about artificial intelligence in a moment, but basically at the core of any intelligence is this non-aggression principle that Foster talks about. And this is the fundamentals to universal morality that aligns with intelligent design and the true freedom of who we are as a divine spark within creation. So let me just read out the non-aggression principle and then the declaration of ethics for artificial intelligence. And I just want to let people know that Foster was the first in the world to come up with a declaration of ethics for AI. And then by chance, potentially, the US government released something and the World Economic Forum released something very quickly afterwards that was against, effectively, an opposite to this truth that Foster came up with. So the non-aggression principle is ethical behavior by humankind is based upon the non-initiation of force or fraud towards others and their property. It is essential that no robot be created without this principle being programmed as a central guide to its function, regardless of place, time, culture, community, gender, race, age, or condition. And so the Declaration of Ethics for AI, which you can read about in Foster's website, Free to Thrive, and I'm going to be writing about this on inventingworld3.com and in my next book, a deep dive into this. The non-aggression principle, the core of all human ethics, recognizes that no individual has the right to initiate force, coercion, or fraud against another, except in true self-defense. So AI must be subject to the same codes of ethics or universal morality as humankind itself. So this is a double-edged sword. It is a sword for humanity to understand who are we as a species and how can we thrive and build new abundant systems of the future, and also how do we encode these within artificial intelligence in order for it to be a partner in innovation and not to be an overlord, which is what the World Economic Forum are doing with their responsible AI movement.
Matthew, I'm so glad that you're on here today because it's perfect when I'm talking about milestone media events, because I know that you were at the Conscious Life Expo last weekend, and I've been hearing glowing reports. I think you rocked their world. And so could you give us a little bit of a sense of what your message was and how you were received?
Yeah, so first of all is that no one in AI leadership speaks to the general public. And so I spend a lot of time speaking to the general public, listening to their points of view, and then we uncover this new path of thriving, Foster, for humanity. And people then get comfortable and excited about AI. So at Conscious Life Expo, I did a full disclosure of the next book, which is basically uncover, first of all, what is AI and giving people a real tangible feel for what it is and where we can go. And then we start to dive into the coercion of these globalists that are trying to force artificial intelligence with their woke agenda of this climate, the attack against the female, diversity, equity, inclusion, the attack against the beauty of the female and the male union. Basically, I do a full disclosure around this kind of what I call this descent into hell. And then that's the really interesting stuff, where I uncover the new enlightened era for humanity of how AI will fit into that with these enlightened principles like universal morality or the language of nature from John P. Milton, etc., etc. So really, it's a full disclosure of these two paths, Foster, for the human species. One is a descent into hell, which is this mechanical kind of a violation of the divine organic design, where we merge with machines, and they've forgotten that we are universal intelligence. And the other one, which is this era of enlightenment, what I call Homo lucidus, where we become even more thriving in our organic divine spark, and we're starting to uncover new fields of who we are in the cosmos, and AI is a partner in that development.
And so how did people respond to that message?
The people loved it, Foster. They loved the fact there's a new era of enlightenment for humanity, and AI can become a partner.
It's so exciting to me that you're out there with this message. Many of you probably recognize Matthew from one or might have been two appearances in the Freedom Portal in past years. He's one of the living experts on AI, but he's one of the few of the leaders in AI who is also a spiritual teacher. He's fundamentally a mystic. And so he is absolutely committed to using the best of AI while honoring and preserving the organic, the spiritual, our divine connection. And he recognizes that AI, for all of its incredible capacities, is not alive. It doesn't access the Akashic records. It accesses a lot of digital memory, and that's great, but it's not the same as the life force itself. So I really think that he's one of the peaceful warriors establishing the fork in the road to keep us from going into the oblivion of being obligated to turn over human life on planet Earth to robots and actually go forward with what Matthew and I call, instead of the digital singularity, it's the human singularity, the human fulfillment singularity, where while we're developing all this incredible technology, we also stay on the path of fulfilling the potential of human beings for love, for connection and empathy and intimacy and honesty, and then connecting that out into all the rest of life in the universe. So thanks for all you're doing, Matthew.